You don't have any fights this week? Oh man, we gotta have some fights.
What is up? What is up? And what is up? Raider Nation, guess what? We are on time. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Stranger things have happened. Just like this whole 2024 season.
I think that's a sign. It might happen on Monday. We're on time.
I know, man. It is crazy. No 15-minute wait because class is in session now. You know what Wednesday it is. You know what day it is. The professor is in. And we got to make sure we're in our seats ready right now to take some notes. But before then, let's...
I got my notebook right here.
Yes, make sure. Okay.
I got my pen right here. I'm ready.
Take some notes because I believe, like usual, our professor that's coming in is going to be hitting you with some hard knowledge. So before we go into all that, Asylum, how you been?
I'm all good. I hate waiting until Monday for football, but you know what? It is what it is. At least it's not a bye week, so.
Yeah, the only thing I worry about is we're on prime time. Please show up. Please show up. Okay, that's all I care about. Please show up. All right. Causing an earthquake with being on time. Hey, there's already been a couple earthquakes over here this past week, so I don't know. The tides have turned and the plates are plating. I don't know. All right.
The plates are shaking.
The plates are shaking. All right, well, before we do anything, let's go into our favorite segment, which is the shameless plug. Here we go.
All right, everyone, go to the YouTube channel, The Cage Match Show. Like, share, subscribe, give it a thumbs up. Go ahead and hit that bell. That way you know every time a new video drops. If Roger Goodell decides he wants to play an asshole role again, like
Dance
you
monkey.
don't want to do, you can catch us on Facebook. First on the Oakland Raiders Savage page, and then my page, Asylum. And once this is all done, our show's shut down, go ahead and visit WGG and browse their web page, order something, and in the discount code, put Cage Match, one word, to get yourself 10% off your entire order.
I know it's been a while, but when you do think of wins, whenever it happens, think of dubs. When you think of dubs, think of W. Go to the discount code CAGEMATCH, Cage Match, one word, 10% off your whole order. I did that really smooth. Oh my God, does that mean we're going to get a win? Oh no. If we do, go to dubs. Go to w.gg. And like always, shouts out to the Compa Fabian. Check out his page, his merch, his catalog. www.r4lifer.com, RaiderNationForLifer.com. And usually I always wear hats by him, but today I'm wearing a gray shirt, so I wanted to wear the gray hat, kind of match for the first time. So here we go. All right.
You must have talked before the show. I'm wearing a gray hat too.
I know, but you got like the silver, kind of like a badge, like you're official, you know. So I just got the starter kit.
That's later on in the show.
All right.
Started on officials.
We got that ready though too. So, and also shouts out to RaiderMan19.com, RaiderMan19.com, the Raider Man from Richmond podcast. You know what? I think we're gonna have to pick that up, okay? And we're gonna have to get Raider Man on. We gotta get that going. We miss Raider Man. So shouts out to Raider Man. He's a big part of the show. You hear him at the end of the intro. And speaking of the end of that intro, that is the Raider Oath. One day we want to get him to the Raider Oath because this organization needs a shot of the Oakland. Just the Oakland mystique, okay? We need him to go up there in front of the torch, light it. I am a Raider fan for the 30% Raider fans that are there because they sell tickets to other fan bases. I don't know, I'm just messing. But we need to get him over there. Shouts out to Raider Man. Always showing love to Raider Man. So we got to get him back on this show. All right, Asylum, before we go to why everyone is here, you know, it's not for us, but let's just do it. It's not for us, but let's do a quick rundown of what happened with our, do you have it? The clip ready? The CMN news update. Here we go.
This is CMN, a cage match news update.
Thank you, James Earl Jones.
R.I.P. All right, first one. Brock Bowers breaks rookie record for most receptions in a season with 87. This catch right here was the one that broke the record. I mean, for him being the 13th overall pick this past, early before the season and, the whole debate, I think he has exceeded all expectations. What do you think, Asylum?
Oh, I think yes. Expectations. I think he's turned all those naysayers who said we should have gone a different way, this, that, the other. Why were we picking another tight end? And he's done it with 3 different quarterbacks so far, and still broke the record.
Yep.
Sam Laporta had one quarterback. Keith Jackson had one quarterback. Jeremy Shockey, I know, only had one quarterback. And here he's doing it. He's just being him. He's being Brock Bowers.
He is him.
He is him. We need to get him a better nickname than what fucking Devontae Crybaby Adams gave him.
Maybe he's missing his baby mama. All right. Okay. Next one right here. Aidan O'Connell was questionable for Monday Night Football after carted off field versus Bucks. Now, everyone remember this at the end of the game. We're going to talk about this towards the end of the show, but Asylum, I mean, we're over here. We're Team Ramrod. Team Ramrod.
We're Team Ramrod. You got it right.
He's all like, nah, I need my audition, whether it's going to help for next year or not. I need my audition. I'm going back out there. That's what he said. And hold on real quick. They asked AP about it, and here's what he had to say.
No, good. Aidan walked in buildings, was in the weight room, in the training room, and was at walkthrough right now. When we have our walkthrough later, he'll be out there.
So is he planning to start at this point?
We'll see how the week goes.
All right, Asylum, what do you think right there? This is all our quarterbacks currently. Minshew, of course, is on the IR, so currently available. What do you think?
Well, I mean, it's good news. I'd rather he be questionable right now compared to when he was leaving. In an aircast, we all thought, his season, possibly career, could have been over with the way he was rolling around, as you saw in that clip. So it's good news for us O'Connell fans who want to give him that chance and want to see what we got and let him, like you said, audition, whether it's for the Raiders, somebody else, whatever the situation is, give him a chance to at least prove himself and go there. And at least he has a chance. I'll take questionable right now over yet another one on IR.
Yep, and that was good because the way he was carted off with the air catch, you're thinking he broke something or something very serious. For him to get another opinion, they said, "Oh, okay, bone bruise. You can still play," and he's out there in the facility. That is good news. Maybe he can start, and if not, Desmond Ridder, the revenge game on Monday Night Football. That is, I mean, that's a dream come true for somebody who's still trying to prove himself in the league to have his first start in a new team. Monday Night Football, the whole country to watch against his former team that he was drafted by. And speaking of IR, Zamir White officially placed on IR, ending his 2024 season. He, after a great finish to last year's season, could not get off the ground on this season, whether it was the offensive coordinator or the offense line or whatever, well, a combination of all of it. But he has been dealing with that quad injury, and they officially put him on IR, which, as you see the list of players on here, he joins a lot of players, a lot of starters on that list. Asylum, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I see why they did it. It's a quad thing. 4 more games. Just go ahead, put him on, get it over with, get him rest. Again, I think it's planning for the future. Possibly the 1-2 punch with him and maybe oh god damn it, I just drew a blank. Who the guy? Sincere McCormick. Kind of a thing. We'll see. We'll have to see how it goes. Just, we just got a long list going, and it just seems to keep getting longer and longer and longer as the season goes on. Not much to say is to stay healthy, guys. You only got 4 more games.
Yes, bubble wrap everything, all right? That's what we got to do. Just like that little boy from Little Giants. Bubble wrap, a mattress, filling, whatever, okay? Just go out there and just try to survive, all right? Get us off this injury bug. And last one on a positive note, Fort Raiders currently within top leaders in votes for Pro Bowl. Yeah. You see him right there. As Brock Bowers is Max Crosby. You have Spillane, who should get a contract soon, get an extension, and our kicker, Carlson.
Yeah, I'm sure that it dropped down to 8th a little bit after that. Not this game, but the game before that. But it's okay. It's okay. It happens. Everyone has a bad day.
Yeah, first among tight ends. Brock Bowers, defensive ends, 4th.
For sure. You know that.
Yeah, I want to see that be the vote for Rookie of the Year, but probably won't happen on a 2-11 team.
Oh, no, it should. Just because he's on a 2-11 team and he's still outperforming a lot of the other rookies. So I don't see why he couldn't be the offensive Rookie of the Year.
I mean, it should, but the NFL politics. All right, let's stop playing around. Okay.
Roger Goodell likes to step in and say, "Fuck you, Raiders."
I know. It is what it is.
Gotta continue that Tagliabue blue fucking hate,
Continue the torch. Pass along the hate. All right, no more messing around. It's time for class. Okay. So like every other Wednesday, we have we want to say special guest. She's part of the show. She likes to do every 2 weeks, so you can just boom, there she comes. Okay, like John Madden. Boom. All right.
She likes to let people simmer, simmer, saturate, and then bam.
And then bam.
It's the rope-a-dope. Ali made it famous. It's the rope-a-dope.
Yeah. Okay. She hits. Okay. Her knowledge hits like him and Tyson all together. Okay. All right. So Asylum, have her intro ready. Here we go for what we like to call a Peggy Wednesday, Peggy's perspective. Here we go. There you go. Hello, Miss Peggy.
And I'm going to start right out by giving a shout out to my guys at the Silver and Black Empire in New York City for hosting Asylum the day after Thanksgiving. How was it? Tell us.
It was a blast. I didn't realize it until I think I was there. I have seen they did a special about places to watch games at and everything. And I saw it was either a YouTube TV. I don't remember where I saw it, but I remember that place being featured on whatever the hell it was that I saw it. And once you're in there, I mean, it's a small place, but every place in New York is small. But it's hard to believe how many Raiders fans show up in their traditions. I got to be part of that. Then, like I said before, got in the raffle, had to support their club and everything, ended up winning the raffle. So, it was just one of those. It was a great experience. Stayed longer, passed the game, sat there drinking with everybody, and it's a must do if you're ever in New York and a chance to watch the Raider game. You have to go there and check it out and watch it with them.
And shout out also to Johnny Laurel, the bartender, a diehard Raider fan for years and years and years. And I just want to say, you got actually a treat of a game, did you not?
Oh, yeah.
Actually, the game, I dig to differ, but I think it was one of our better games of the year, even though we came away with another L.
We came out with the loss. I mean, we actually look like a real football team.
Yeah, I mean, Savage, the game planning on both sides of the ball. Didn't you see it happening?
Yeah, and they looked more smooth, and the way they were attacking the two-time defending champions, on both sides of the ball, they didn't really have any answers, and it took a crazy play at the end of the game to give the game to the Chiefs. Though we did shoot ourselves in the foot a lot during the game, for us lowly two winning team. What I'm trying to say. 2-win team versus a 11 or a 10-1 team, and the way we showed out on their field like that, they looked like, okay, we have a team if we can keep playing like this, and
our strength is what let us down. Our strength, special teams, was the one thing that let us down, and why we didn't win that game.
And the other part is, this is something effort coming out of the team. First of all, I hate division games, okay? Because as far as I'm concerned, everybody comes in 0-0. You cannot tell what's getting ready to happen between two old foes and the rivalry. We got our first long touchdown of the year. We got 430 yards of offense out of a Steve Spagnuolo defense. How many years has it taken for that to happen to us? We did everything right, except our weak. You say it was our strength, the kicking game definitely, but our weakness, a rookie at center. And this is something. And even though Parham, who I will talk about later, hit him on the leg, right? Time to snap the ball. We got to work through these issues. We knew that having two rookies on that O-line meant that the O-line was just not going to be what we wanted it to be this year. But now I want to talk about the slip and fall the very next week in Tampa Bay. What was that I watched? Asylum, can anybody tell me what was I watching?
There was some good out of it, but no, we came out and gave up 14 points right off the bat. The defense was looking bad. Everything wasn't going, we couldn't get out of our own damn way. We tripped over our own damn shadow to start that game. Then the defense got their shit together and did what they could to hold them and, keep us in the game. They just started spending a lot of time on the field. Offense was, flashy.
Non-existent.
Well, I was going to say flashy more so. We had some key things in there, first play of the game for us. It was a deep threat. We tried to go deep, just didn't get to connect with it. And then didn't do nothing, But we saw things that we wanted to see. We saw some flashes there. I know we've been saying that a lot this season, but, saw flashes. But then, we tripped over our own damn shadow. It kind of reminded me of Groundhog Day, where, you just keep waking up seeing the same shit over and over and over again.
Right. We didn't have an 100-yard rushing game. We did not connect on a single passing touchdown, as usual. We got that quarterback sneak touchdown, which, by the way, was the highlight of O'Connell's day, because other than that, he wasn't really having a good day. And, oh, by the way, did people see he injured that leg before he went out?
Yeah.
I don't know whether people saw The
Oh,
guy
yeah.
rolling up on his ankle, and when he gets up, he's grimacing.
Yeah.
Oh, he was limping. Yeah, he was limping. Why do you think they ran the ball 6 straight plays after that? Because they didn't know if they could trust his ankle to be able to move around when needed. So it was, I believe, it was 6 plays. It was just straight run. Right after that happened, I saw it.
A very unremarkable day for Aidan, and of course, we knew what was going to happen to Ritter once he came back in. And just more of the same. And again, we don't know how familiarized Ritter is with this offense yet. I mean, he just hasn't been here long enough. He certainly wasn't here during the camps, the OTAs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This
I
offense
think
is
it's
just
5
new
weeks.
to him. But I want to talk about 2 people. I want to start controversy right away. And the 2 people I want to talk about is Max Crosby and Diablo. Okay. Did anybody notice that when Adam Butler went down in the second quarter, all the players, even Pierce, came out on the field? Max Crosby left the field, sat down on the bench. Did anybody notice that?
I remember when he was on the ground, AP walked out there and he was talking to him, and I think it was
Max
Morig
was sitting on the bench. He had left the field. Okay?
Yeah.
Second thing, when I have 2 tackles, 1 solo, no sacks, no TFLs, I have a guy whose motor is always running, almost getting there, right? I just knew we had a safety right on Mayfield. You give Baker enough time, he'll revert to the Cleveland Baker Mayfield. Okay?
Yeah.
Just give him enough time. Second quarter showed that. But I mean, we had to get big plays from Chason. We had to get, that was just a brilliant, and I don't know why this guy hasn't caught on. He's a major talent. But for some reason, he's just not found a home. I hope he finds his home here. But I also want to talk about Diablo. If I see another game where that boy lets receivers just blow by him, he's always looking in the backfield. Somebody said, well, they converted him from safety to linebacker. I'm not sure he was a good safety either. What are you guys thinking?
Well, if he was a safety, you would think he'd be able to at least be able to cover the tight ends in the middle, being at linebacker, being up in there. But I do remember, I do see what you're saying. There's a lot of plays where he's always chasing. It could be communication because if all the people are injured, all that. But
he has 0 football instincts, and it's very obvious now. He's a liability in that 4-2-5 zone that Graham likes to run. And I mean, quite part of the reason that we're finding a lot of soft spots, you notice the soft spots are underneath. That's linebacker territory.
Yeah.
They're finding a lot of openings in linebacker territory. Okay, which indicates we got to put that on our to-do list for next year. Okay. But now I want to go, because I just love to hear, and if you were listening to the show last night, you heard my famous cut, wave, trade or keep list.
Yeah.
And I think it's about time to do it, and I want to do defense. Okay? And I need your guys, unless you wanted to go somewhere else, I need your guys' opinions so bad before we roll into offensive coordinator for next year. Okay. But I just got to hear your opinions. Okay. I know Max is a keep.
Yeah.
What about Tyree Wilson?
Cut. You take that, Asylum.
I'm going to say,
there's been enough games.
I want to give him one more year. I say keep him. He's on a rookie contract, everything going. It's not hurting us any, going, even as find out if he's a rotational piece, what it is. I'm throwing out that first season with that foot injury, plantar fasciitis. I'm counting this as his first official year. being healthy, being able to do everything. And I say keep him for at least one more year.
I mean, it's really kind of unfair to evaluate the D-line, being that the two pieces that we expected to be there aren't Wilkins and Kuntz.
Yes.
So right away, I mean, some guys, all right, John Jenkins.
Jenkins.
And he's not a free agent. No.
Jenkins. He's older, right? He's towards the end. He's older.
Yeah,
he's the older
guy.
one.
I mean, he's a DT, rotational. He comes in next to Butler. Now, of course, he's getting more reps now that Wilkins is gone.
I know they kept him for the depth, and in him being a veteran player, you do have some these Adam Butler and the other Butler. I'm forgetting his name. Adam and Matthew Butler? Was it Matthew?
Yeah, well, there were two Butlers. There's now only one.
There's only one, yeah.
All of the rotational players. But you've seen enough of Jenkins to know. He was here last year, he's there this year. I mean...
Yeah, I think, with his age and everything, and we don't know exactly what's going to happen next year, I can see him being, them letting him go, especially, with this whole youth movement. And if Christian Wilkins is back healthy and ready to go and everything with that foot, which he should be, I think Jenkins is someone that will be probably let go or not retained for next year. So,
all right, put on your GM hat. I'm giving you some tough ones now. Nate Hobbs.
Oh. Nate Hobbs, if he can stay healthy,
I got a lot of indigestion.
If he can stay healthy,
I love his play.
Yeah,
I like his play. Like Savage is saying, if he can stay healthy, he's in nickel. He's a shutdown nickel corner, and he does his job great. But you got to have the help with him out there. He's not an island guy. For me, again, another rookie contract and everything. I want to keep Nate Hobbs. I want to keep Hobbs.
I know, but I don't think he can be a starter. I mean, he's got to stay healthy a whole season for me to have any courage in here, any kind of feeling. All right, next. What do you do, GM, with Trayvon Moore?
That's a coin flip.
Him.
This year, he started to step up and come out and show what he can do. And I think we could re-sign him cheap. So I keep Moore, sign him to a 2-3 year contract and see how he can fit into a younger backfield back there and go. And I say keep Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's tough, but you got to resign him. But I got a feeling he's going to be wanted around the NFL.
I was going to say, if I guess if we don't sign him before the season, if we don't resign him before the season, if he goes out there and he gets a higher bid, do we match it or do we just kind of say, okay, well, hey, like Robertson, just hey,
And Spillane,
yes.
He
before the season is over,
he should have a contract extension now.
Yeah.
I think hands down, that's an easy one. I mean, don't even let him test that market. Don't even give it a chance. Don't let nobody else, because I guarantee you think people are going to be after Maury? No, they're coming after Spillane.
Yes, they are.
Yeah,
they are. And this is this is where the Raiders over the years have fallen down because, of course, we never realize who we should keep and who we should let go. Yeah. I mean, I remember a guy, a really good DT, and he went to the Colts. And I'm trying to put his name in my head, but it's those kind of players, huh?
Yannick Ngakoue.
Well, not Ngakoue. I'm talking about a guy who was a DT for a while, and then he went with the Colts suddenly. We let him go. And this was when Mac was here. It's been a while. So I'm going to call his name, okay? Because he's still active in the NFL. But those little pieces, guys like that, if you're trying to put together a championship defense, you keep them. Spillane, Morig, and now, well, of course, Jacorian will be here, right? He's a rookie. Eichenberg will be here. They're a rookie. We really don't have a vet except Jack Jones.
Marcus Epps.
And Matt Epps is out hurt, and I'm not sure. We're going to keep Polamalu for sure. But I want to talk about Jack Jones. And he's not on the list.
No, that's next year.
Next year.
Oh, I see. He's on the 2025. Oh, okay. So we've got another year with him. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I mean, now we roll into what I think is the Raiders' number one problem, which is O-line. But the real problem is a new OC. I like Turner and I like his dad, but Scott Turner doesn't have the chops for the job. And we found that out with Getsy. The problem to me wasn't Getsy. The problem was us selecting a guy who didn't have the resume, the experience, the success to do the job, the massive job of rebuilding our offense. And I don't think Turner has it either. So now what are we left with, fellas?
Well, I mean,
offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
It's their biggest offseason issue.
Yeah. And I mean, it's been kind of our issue for the last 10 years around there since Bill Musgrave. If you look at the numbers right here, Todd Downing, 18.8 points per game. John Gruden, 21.1. Greg Olson, who took over with the same playbook for those last 12 games, 21.5. And then from Josh McDaniels, it's been going down, 19.7. Bill Hardigree got it up, 19.8. And then the 17.9, the 17, and the 4 games that Scott Turner. So,
well, this is why I'm saying to you, our biggest franchise move, I don't care what everybody's talking quarterback, but before you get to quarterback, the OC.
Well, I agree. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is, whether it's like what I said, and I made it clear. Give O'Connell the chance next year, 100%. You draft a quarterback, you bring in one in free agency. If you don't got a good offensive coordinator, then next would be offensive line. But if you don't got a good offensive coordinator, I don't give a fuck who you have under center. It's just not going to work out.
No. And not only that, your offensive coordinator has to be a guy who has had success somewhere else. I mean, you need a guy that has seen success with his play calling, play design, game prep. You also need a guy that knows how to develop a young quarterback.
Okay? We just gotta stop having a guy who goes first down run, second down run, third down pass, first down run, second down run.
But look at what you're asking, and if you looked at the show last night, I keep bringing this up to Raider Nation, and I've got to hit hard on this because we screwed it up this year. People still don't understand what we are asking of an offensive coordinator. We are asking that guy to select and develop a new quarterback. We're asking him to select personnel, free agent and draft, and rebuild the offensive line. We are asking him to integrate a number one receiver. Said receiver is not yet on our team. So he has to select and integrate. He has to also integrate the running game. And guys, there's a lot of cries out there in Raider Nation. McCormick is nice, but we can upgrade. Now, I'm not saying that that guy doesn't exist. That offensive coordinator exists. But that's what we're asking him to do. We are asking him to do a 4-ring circus all at the same time.
Yeah, and no patience. There's no patience either. Let's go. I want to see results now.
Exactly. That's the Madden crowd. But for me, not only does he have to have that kind of skill set, but he has to know how to call plays, right? To put together drives. He has to play design. Now that he's got a Bowers, you can start moving him like a tool to free up your wide receivers the way he's supposed to be used. You got to do all that too. You got to game prep for not only your division opponents who you see twice a year, but of course the rest of the schedule. You have to know the league.
Yeah.
Defenses all around the league. What are we asking for? We sure ain't asking for no baby in britches.
We're asking for football Jesus.
Maybe, but someone who has the potential to be football Jesus. I can't specify enough that at this point, we got to scour the landscape because the way the Raiders treat coaches, it's going to be hard to get a good one here.
Well, that's because of all the inconsistency. That's what we talked about this constant turnaround in coaching. If you don't, and we haven't that we do that, except with the latest one was Gruden, but going, it's just, you got that carousel, and it's with OCs and head coaches, and it makes it hard to bring in those top guys because
and now quarterbacks.
Right? And that's to the list of guys who you can forget the free agent market, right? Anybody that's any good is not coming here. They saw what happened to Minshew. Minshew got thrown into a meat grinder. There was no way he was ever going to succeed with what they had around him. No way. Okay? Same with Ritter. Anybody that comes here. So you can forget a veteran who got any sense and got an agent that he listens to. You don't want to go to the Raiders.
Okay? Unless you get paid.
You have a career.
You're going to have to overpay for somebody who's
not even for the money. Not even for the money. We're career killers. Where are you going to work after you work with the Raiders?
I'm broadcasting.
See, podcasting thing is real easy. I think they could do that.
Yeah.
So we have to get a voluntold from the NFL draft. Okay? That's our only choice. And for all of you out there, we don't have the number one pick. There's still 3 games left in the season. Oh, okay. And this is good. This is good, Savage. Guys, I mean, you're talking. I think defense takes a back seat because of how you let the offense go into the ground. It was already ruined by McDaniels, but then you let it run further into the ground. Now you have no quarterback, no running back, no number one receiver, and no O-line.
Yeah.
That's an entire rebuild.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't want to see cornerback, DE. Nice. I might let you have a linebacker. Yes. You can have a lollipop. But other than that.
I was a good boy. I get a lollipop.
That's right. This is my view, and I want you to give me some feedback because I need some clarity of thought here. You're asking an OC, and I want to see that list of candidates. I want my Christmas present early. There we go.
There's the list. Coordinates. This was everything except for Eric Bieniemy. This list was put together by a writer off of the Silver and Black Pride. I'm forgetting his name. I should have credited him, but hey, I'm shouting you out like another podcast. So it was some writer. He put this together. some on some show, whatever. These are who we thought when they fired Getsy and they promoted Turner. This is the list that he came up with the guys that were out there, and you also on this list was Todd Downing. But I said, nah, we're not going to go backwards again. I left them out the list.
Oh no! And you see, once again, I have given you the criteria of what you are asking your OC to do. And Savage, you said it, and people don't want to wait around.
Yeah.
Right? They don't want to wait 1, 2, 3 years for it to gel or for the OC to catch up with the monstrous task. He has to rebuild a running game, a passing game, and he has to train a rookie quarterback, and of course, a total rebuild of the O-line.
Yeah, O-lineman that can run his scheme, his blocking scheme.
Right, but that's assuming he has one. Let's look down the list here. I mean, Marcus Brady, I've always kind of liked him. I kind of thought he should have been on the list of people instead of Getsy, okay? He was available in February. So was Clint Kubiak, also available. And of course, so was Eric Bieniemy. But see, this is where now you got to help me, guys. What's more important, since I can't have the Christmas tree with all the presents under it in my OC? What's more important that your OC have?
Experience.
But I'm
imagination.
Four aspects of the 4 aspects of the game that he must rebuild.
A quarterback. Or offensive line, then quarterback.
But quarterback, to me, he has to be a guy that knows how to develop NFL quarterbacks, has actually done it before.
Yeah, okay.
Who's on that list?
See, we learn here on the show too, okay?
Eric Bieniemy.
McCown has 2 years. Forget it. Anybody with less than 5 years, I'm striking from the list. So McCown can go. I don't want any more Getsies.
Well, I mean, I just said Eric Bieniemy. He did it with Mahomes.
Well, you darn right he did it. And oh, by the way, I wanted to show you all a chart that I developed for the people I was arguing with who think now that Eric Bieniemy is a bum. If you look at the Chiefs' offensive production, the 5 years Bieniemy was there, 2018 to 2022, they ranked 1st, 4th, 6th, 5th, and 1st again. The year after he left and Nagy became the offensive coordinator, 15th. And this year they're on a track for 13th. If Andy Reid is calling all the plays in Kansas City, oh, no, that wasn't Benny, that was Andy Reid. Why did it drop off from 1st to 15th the year he left? And this is after Tyreek is gone. Can somebody explain that to me? This man has been in 3 Super Bowls as an offensive coordinator. Won 2 of them. Why would anybody try to take his 1 year under a lame duck, Ron Rivera, the con man, in Washington, and 1 year, we don't know what happened at UCLA. We have no idea, okay? Why would anybody want to take those 2 experiences and hold it against the guy? The guy's been a coach since 2002.
Well, I would say with the Commanders, I think they were shuffling around quarterbacks too, and Ron Rivera was at the end of his
lame duck. He got fired. That year, everybody got fired.
Yeah, so of course the whole whatever direction they go, the coaching staff gets cleaned out. So. And the stigma is because Andy Reid was a play caller in Kansas City. That was all Andy Reid. He was probably kind of like with these head coaches that call plays. We name an offensive coordinator, but he just helps with the game plan. that he's the one that calls the plays. So that right there just that right there is the belief that he's not the one that was moving the chess pieces. He's just the one that helped with the scheme for the guy moving the chess pieces.
Yeah. See, when you're looking down that list,
Oh.
I think your most important job, of course, is to find a guy who actually has experience developing a coordinator. And I can't understand why anybody, developing a rookie quarterback. He's right in front of you, Mahomes. Okay? And this was, again, after. I just wanted everybody to see the research that we did, because people they just talk out of the side of their mouth and they really don't know what they're saying. Look at the drop-off the year Bieniemy left. So if Andy Reid is the real OC, why did it drop?
I got it.
Your turn.
I don't expect anybody to be Sherlock Holmes, but the numbers are right in front of you.
Well, and the numbers don't lie. I mean, you go off of.
There they are, right there.
If you want to go there, the yards, the touchdowns. I mean, it's a big drop off, and again, Andy Reid could have been calling the plays, but it was still Bieniemy who sat there and basically got the offense all together, worked on the blocking for the offensive line, worked with the receivers and receiver coaches. He's the one who still did all the work that nobody sees credit for during practices and all that. Bieniemy was doing all that shit, and you give Andy Reid the play calling during the game, but that's only one aspect of the whole offensive coordinator position that people are focusing on and giving Andy Reid all that. So, I mean, all that work can be done, and I can go call plays and be successful if Bieniemy did all the work.
Of course. And of course, we know a head coach doesn't have time to be the offensive coordinator too. Okay? That model has already proved not to work. So I ask again, if Andy Reid was the offensive coordinator, why did it drop when Nagy got inserted?
Because now Andy Reid has to do more work.
Bieniemy was doing a hell of a lot. He was the offensive game coordinator. He actually put together the play designs, right? The use of personnel, and I believe play selection. Look at the touchdown passing versus rushing ratios. Okay, remember who Bieniemy was? Duh.
Passing coordinator.
And I didn't get a chance to put in, which I'm going to add, is how the Kansas City rushing changed the year that he left. It dropped by almost 30%. Now, I'm doing this as a plug for Bieniemy, but let's put our list up again, guys, because let's look seriously. Chip Kelly. Is Chip coming here?
Hey, bring him back to the NFL level again?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't fit. He only has 4 years in the NFL. Peggy says no. Has to be 5 or more.
Well, I mean, I gotta keep my mind open. They tell me I gotta keep my mind open to the fact that we may have to go to college to get our OC. Yeah. That's why I need help. And you're talking about people. See, these guys, pass game coordinator, these guys have never been OCs. I'm going to strike everyone that's never been an OC. And because the job is so tremendous, don't think that you're going to hire an OC with training wheels with all this work. That's what you did with Getsy.
Yeah. Well, I know you said. I know you. I know you said that the offensive coordinator, head coach thing doesn't really work, but that's what they always hire because they rather have a head coach be in charge of one side of the field at least. I don't know if that's more so so they could put the blame fully on him if that side's not working. Because if the candidates we looked at a few weeks back, like the Ben Johnsons, the Detroit Lions coordinator, he's going to be probably looking at a head coach somewhere.
I'm not impressed with Monken, but he's at least got the experience.
Cliff Kingsbury, I feel like he had success right now with the Commanders because he has a quarterback that they drafted that he was familiar with in college, so already knew that he already had developed him previously before coming into the NFL, so he already knows how to use him. Now just everything else that he has to put together. But if it goes to a new organization, as head coach or whatever, now you're starting brand new.
Cliff's not leaving the Redskins.
Well, he's going to Bill Belichick too. He's signing with North Carolina.
Yeah, that happened today.
I mean, Bill and Mike Vrabel, a guy that used to be a head coach. What are we going out and getting Cliff Kingsbury wannabes? I mean, Ben Johnson is the only guy on this list that I would even trust with this kind of job. And he's a head coaching candidate.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's what it is. It's if you've been a successful coordinator, your next step is not to do a lateral move. It's to go and try to be a head coach. So we got to go and try to find one of these people to be like, hey, how
42 on this list that qualify, and that's Eric Bieniemy and Cliff Kingsbury.
Right. All I want the Raiders to understand, if they can hear me, they've been listening to me all year long, right? I start trashing Getsy the next day they fire him. But you got to listen to me. You don't understand the kind of experience the next OC of the Raiders has to have. We cannot experiment. No more.
I'm perfectly fine with Bieniemy. I was fine with Bieniemy last year.
Well, me too. And I think that's the only guy that even meets. Plus the added bonus with Bieniemy, of course, he knows the AFC West.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. For his year spent there, yeah.
Bonus. I mean, he may not know the Chargers all that well, got a new coach, but you understand what I'm saying. He's been in the AFC West for over 10 years as a coach, first as a running backs coach, which that's another added bonus of Bieniemy.
He knows the Chiefs. Well, and he knows the Chiefs really well. So that's a plus. You need somebody to be able to beat the Chiefs. Why not somebody who was part of their success early on?
Yeah, and I think Eric Bieniemy will probably be the best bet because being that he I don't want to say he failed in the Commanders, but he came in at the end of a failing with the head coach, and then now went to UCLA, so he has something to prove. So he'll be good to come because I know he was in head coaching consideration after he left Kansas City. So now it's kind of like, okay, I need to prove myself again in the NFL. So he'll be a good candidate to take an OC job just to get back in the NFL to restart his NFL coaching career. So yeah, I think that'll probably make the most sense. And if he has that same imagination that the Chiefs had ran early in their success right now, by 5-6 years ago, and he can bring that to the Raiders and instill that, and then use that against the Chiefs. Marcus Allen, the Chiefs back. You know what I'm saying? And then I think and I know Asylum has mentioned Eric Bieniemy the last couple of weeks. If we go to a new OC, he liked Bieniemy. I know. And I know people kind of, I'm not trying to bring up illegal stuff, but I know they hold that against him too. But hey, you know what? Hey, come back.
What, something he did when he was a Colorado Buffalo? Are y'all serious?
Cancel culture is real.
I mean, come on. We voted that out. Okay?
I know. But they're still out there. They're still out there.
I know they're lurking in the shadows, waiting to pounce. But all I'm saying, oh, by the way, And I like Kubiak too. I'm not sure the Saints gonna give him up though. They
but with the new head coach coming in, they got a new head coach coming in. A new head coach.
I forgot about the Dennis Allen departure.
Yeah.
So there will be somebody new, and he probably will want to bring his own OC. So Clint might be looking. He's a decent candidate for the position. He has the bona fides to get the 3-ring circus going, and he's a darn good play designer. Okay, and I'm talking about a guy that can think on multiple levels, that can see a play, go 3 different players executing one play. That's what I mean by multiple levels.
Also, don't forget, with the Saints, he had Taysom, who's that Swiss Army knife for them. So he could be able, if he could use Taysom right, he might be able to use.
He's a tight end too. Yeah, he's a tight end too, technically.
But he's got a much deeper resume. He has been in every position on the offensive staff.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's been an offensive coordinator. And I want to say 9 years. When I looked him up last year, Clint Kubiak, but he and Bieniemy are the only ones on the list you got that I know can do the job.
Told you that's what she was going to say. I knew Peggy's list.
you know how I am. I mean, he has been an offensive coordinator 4 years. Started with the Vikings, okay? And again, he's been everything. He's got a deep enough resume. He started in college, Texas A&M, 2010. All right. Maybe. I mean, but put that list up again. Do that list.
Right now, that's the Cage Match code. Is this list?
I like Marcus Brady's mind. I like his offensive mind. Here's the problem: he just doesn't have enough coordinators. The job is too big for him. He just doesn't have enough experience. The job will be too big for Engstrom, Grizzard. All these guys have never been OCs. Okay, Brady has been an OC, right, in Indianapolis. Until the unfortunate departure of Frank Reich. Oh, Reich fired him the week before he himself got fired. And then, of course, you know of the Jeff Saturday debacle.
Yes, unfortunately we do.
That was just a 1, 2, 3, domino thing. Brady went first, then they got rid of Reich the next week. And then they bring Saturday in, and he beats us. I mean, again, we can strike McCown, and you all will be looking in college, right, for the OC that you think has the heft to do this job at the NFL level. I mean, he's got to have a brain. I mean, smart guy that knows how many pieces have to. I mean, he has to be multitasking on a fantastic level to try to get this offense back off the ground again.
Yeah, and I think that has to be priority number one, because after the season's over, that's the first thing they should do is find the coordinator because that's what they were trying to sell us when McDaniels got hired. Whoa, he look what he did in New England. Look what he did in New England. He was able to have a play ready 3 plays before he called it. Yeah,
right.
You know who else was his quarterback? Tom Brady. Tom Brady won Super Bowls before he was even the offensive coordinator. Charlie Weiss, the unforgotten. I'm sorry, the forgotten one.
Don't forget about Bill. What's his name? The one that went down to Houston. He was
O'Brien.
Well. Bill O'Brien.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as far as, Tom Brady needs an offensive coordinator okay, finish it for me, guys.
Like you need another hole in your head?
Exactly. It's a useless appendage for him. He calls his own plays. He knows the team like the back of his hand. 20 years in the league.
Yeah.
Well, just
Yeah.
like Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning was the same way. Peyton Manning was the same way.
Why does he need an offensive coordinator? I mean, that's one of the reasons McDaniels wanted to get out of there. Was very unhappy in New England. Besides the fact that he knew he would not be the successor to Belichick, they had already made up their mind that he wasn't going to be head coach. Okay, and then we unfortunately, Mark unfortunately was standing there, the next sucker in line. Okay,
He wanted that big splash. That's what that was. It was that big splash.
He thought, even though evidences abound around the NFL, guys, and back me up, that nothing coming out of New England works anywhere else.
No.
Nothing. Well, maybe Bill O'Brien for
the coach was Vabril. Vabril's the other one.
But he was a player, was he not? He wasn't on.
But he still plays under that scheme, and as a player, as a coach, that's what he was trying to instill over there. When he was coaching and everything. I'm just saying, there was just another name. But as far as coaching trees, though, nobody who's been under Bill Belichick has come out and been successful.
Yeah. Charlie Rice with Notre Dame, Romeo Cromwell with Houston, and I believe the Browns. The tree. There's no fruit on that tree.
I said all the branches on the Belichick coaching tree are dead. Okay. Yeah. Maybe I give Bill O'Brien some credit for being alive for a few years.
Bill Belichick. Since we're in December, okay. Bill Belichick is the Charlie Brown Christmas tree. It was one ornament, one ornament.
Come on. Matt Patricia, for crying out loud, up in Detroit, and now.
Mayo
segues me into a fantasy that some Raider fans have, and I'm going to leave y'all with this one. That somehow, because Tom Brady was a quarterback for 20 year,s just a quarterback, a very good one, mind you, a Hall of Fame quarterback with 7 rings.
Yeah.
Somehow that translate into front office scouting, player personnel, and drafting knowledge. Somebody tell me what's wrong with this story.
Well, Michael Jordan had took over for the Bobcats. He
was here in Washington. My God.
And the Wizards, and that didn't work out. Everyone points to Tom Brady, because he had success in the NFL first year, leaving the Patriots, going to the Buccaneers in the COVID Super Bowl.
Am I missing something here?
But the NFL is scripted. So Tom Brady is going to be the one that reverses the curse from January 19, 2002. The snow game, he's going to take it back, running back after the last 24 years, 22 years. And he's going to reverse the curse. And then the Raiders are going to somehow win the Super Bowl in the next 2 years. And we are back to relevance again, because that night in the snow was what derailed our next generation of winning.
I know that the trading of John Gruden to Tampa Bay was what derailed us.
Yeah.
Was that game that caused the trade of John Gruden, though?
Well, but it was a blow. Okay, not as bad as Syracuse falling on Gannon, though. No flag, taking him out of the game. That was our game. But again, I digress. I just want you to take this away with you. If Mark goes back to his traditional habit of being lazy and letting somebody else do the thinking for him instead of him thinking for himself, if he's listening to Tom Brady, I don't think Pierce is going to survive.
It's going to be favorable.
Prediction. That's my
It's going to be
last
favorable since Belichick is off the market.
Jason, Jason made it funny. He brought up Barrett Robbins, the kid who escaped to Mexico and was never seen again, right until after the Super Bowl. But I just want to leave you with that. That's what frightens me about the presence of Tom Brady and the way Mark Davis thinks. He's always looking for somebody to rescue him. He's always looking to create, he's always trying to be Dr. Frankenstein and create something from nothing. Take a guy with no experience and make him GM. Take a guy that's never been a head coach, make him head coach. And now he's going to take a quarterback. I'm scared. And Pierce should be scared too. Okay? Anyway, guys, got to run. It's been lovely, lovely, lovely. And we will see each other. Wait a minute. We're due back Christmas Eve. What are we going to do about that?
Christmas Eve. Is that a Wednesday?
Yes, it is.
Boy.
Oh, wait.
I'll be off that day. I can do it. So.
I mean, I got my Santa Claus, my Raider Claus hat ready. But only if y'all want to. Just give me a holler and let me know. Because that's
I'm going to do it if you guys are.
I'd love to do it. You bringing out candy canes, even though y'all gonna be out there drunk on the eggnog. We gonna still.
I love eggnog. I love my eggnog.
I love my egg. No, Christmas is Thursday. We talking about Christmas Eve, Elise. So I'll see you then. Christmas Eve.
All
Christmas
right.
Eve.
All right, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, Miss Peggy. Thank you for coming on. And here is your outro. So many buttons I gotta
I
press.
got the pre-mixed eggnog, but I need to get my eggnog because I like my eggnog regular and I like it leaded as well.
Is eggnog with or without the yolk?
I think it's without.
Okay, so without the oak, if you drink too much, you might have the yak. Okay, all right. Asylum.
Hold on. We got this argument here. I got to get it figured out.
on which part?
Your sister's right. Christmas Day is Wednesday. Alicia is right. You are right.
Christmas Day is Wednesday.
That still doesn't change it for me. I'm still off and willing to do a show.
I think Christmas Day for me would work a little more better, but will I be? I mean, I can still do the show on the road. I might be at Alicia's house. I might be at my sister's house. So live from the new home, Elise. I don't know. We might see what happens. I did it in Vegas. Now I'll be in
if you
the middle of nowhere.
I could do the running of it on location. There you go.
On location in the middle of nowhere, right off the 5 somewhere.
I've done 2 shows one from another country, one from New York. So I mean, it can be done. We know it can be done.
It can be done, and it will be done. I know for sure, though, I will not be doing the show this Friday, but Asylum, you had found the guy to come in and on the way to Disneyland. And will be able to take my place. Well, I mean,
for you.
Yes. So that's just a little. Yeah, that is a program announcement. The Friday show will still be on and on time, but I won't be here because I will be on vacation celebrating my stepson's birthday. So, shouts out one more time to Emiliano.
I've got to keep my streak going, so I have to be on.
Yes, I mean, I'll be a part of the show. Working, helping with the show. See, I'm the B enemy. Okay, I'm doing. No, I'm joking.
They said the same thing. I'm probably the most replaceable person on the show.
Thank you. Shouts out, Jason. Thank you.
I have Peggy. I'm the only replaceable one. That's why I can't. That's why I got to keep my streak going. Because I got to make sure I can't be replaced. Only way
because the best
keep
ability is availability.
There you go.
All right. Well, Asylum, there was a game, so let's. It's hard to transition out to Miss Peggy because how do you follow Miss Peggy? We just
we can start an hour earlier and do the show before she comes on, and then let and just end it with her. About the only way you can do that.
Yeah, I know. All right, for the people who are still here left with us, we appreciate it. Because it's just hard when the team doesn't look all that good, and they'll have flashes, and then they don't, and then you got to try to find things to talk about, like the good things, because everybody else on YouTube, they have all the negative and fire this guy and fire that guy and get rid of that guy and bench that guy. And I know everyone's tired of that. So we just try to balance it out. We're not trying to be able to be like, hey guys.
Things to talk about.
Yeah, we got to find things. Okay, we're trying to be entertaining, but then also be different. And we're not just sitting here with the building in the background, on fire. Hey guys, everything's fine. We're just trying to figure out where the alarm went on. But we're good. And then smoke and everything that's falling over. No, that's just that was that. Yeah, no, we're good. No, so we're trying to find that balance and then not sound like everybody else, but. We do the Wednesday show, to talk about the game and both sides of the spectrum. AP lost his 9th game in a row. He says he's never lost 9 games in the league as a player in a row like that. So this is also new territory for him. And I know
we all get knocked down. It ain't about being knocked down. It's how you pick yourself back up.
Yes. And in boxing, there's a 10 count, so maybe we'll win the 10th game, and then you're up. 1, 2, 9. Oh, we're up. Whoever played Mike Tyson Punch Out, you know how that is.
Yeah,
Person A. So, I know
right here. On a positive note, O'Connell might play Monday.
Yeah, O'Connell might play Monday because. Team Ramrod right here. Team Ramrod. Boom. Team Ramrod. And, while you have the PlayStation controller, I'm over here like, okay, Raiders, Bo Jackson. We don't have a Bo Jackson yet. Bo Jackson.
Remember,
so
it's only good if you zigzagged.
If you zigzag, they don't know how to follow you. They don't know how to chase you.
If you went straight, he'd get tackled. You had to zigzag.
No, yeah. But I mean, we don't have a Bo Jackson. And, I know we brought it up with Miss Peggy. But this young man right here, I mean, he's slightly turning heads. Sincere McCormick, the undrafted rookie, or not rookie. He's in his second year, right?
No. He's in his second or third year.
Yeah, the undrafted one, making the best of his opportunity.
But again, though, who did that last year?
Yeah, and that's the fear too. Is Amir right with the 5 games he had taking over for Josh Jacobs and him and I believe that was a down blocking. Power blocking scheme. Yeah, I mean, so.
Well, again, like I said, I think there's a possibility, and it might get tried next year, just because. I know Zeus has had his issues to start this season, but you might see Madison might be gone, and you might see a McCormick White backfield, and with the based off of last year with White, this year with McCormick and with a proper blocking scheme, power for the both of them, you might actually have your 1-2 punch when it comes to the running back position.
Yeah, and a lot of us that remembers
those numbers ain't terrible. I know Peggy was, kind of hard on him, but he's averaging. I mean, it was 6.6 against a Denver defense, which is a great defense.
Third at the time.
5.3 against
the Chiefs.
Sorry,
which were ranked four total defense, overall defense at that time.
Overall defense. And then he only went down 0.1 against Tampa Bay, and against Tampa Bay, he had his long run of 29. I mean, that average, and again, here we go. They talked about trying to get him the ball more. AP did last week. Granted, it's only 3 carries more than against the Chiefs, but he's making the most. So it's not like he's being bad. And that average of everything of 5.5, any running back averaging 5.5 yards a carry, people are going to, that's a good running back on a team. That's what you want to see.
Yeah. And then
go ahead.
What I'm saying with this game, the Raiders started off basically spotted them 14 points. Yeah. So they had to use more of the passing game. So with his chances that he did get in the running game, was 15 carries in this last game. He was able to make the best of it. He's not one that gets tackled on the first touch. He doesn't easily go down. And you saw in the highlight that we had played. I'll put it up again. And the highlight in that first play, I mean, he's spinning off of blocks. Something that we got tired of running backs doing to us on our defense. Like, God, can you tackle him already? So we have somebody, and you see the 28, so you're like, wait, is that Josh Jacobs before the number 8? The Josh Jacobs that we known and loved, Did we clone Josh Jacobs and now we just give him a new name because of ethic reason? I don't know. We don't believe in clones, so it's just
because you can only use one social security number, so you have to give him a different name to give him a new social security number.
Yeah, we don't believe in clones, Kate. So but the way he's running, he's always going forward. It takes about like 2-3 guys, and for him that size, carrying like 2-3 guys along with him to get positive yards. And yeah, there was a couple of times where he got hit at the line of scrimmage or whatever. But initially you get him going.
Even Derrick Henry gets tackled once in a while behind the line of scrimmage, at the line of scrimmage. It happens. I don't care who you are as a running back. It's going to happen. But it's that accumulation, that, beating up that defensive line, beating up those first couple of guys that are touching you, even the guys afterwards, making them hurt, making them feel it. And that's what you're seeing. You're seeing a true power runner right there who's, like you said, falling forward, moving forward, not shying away from hits, but keeps those legs churning. And those legs churning is what's getting him that carry. I mean, the yardage. Now, the offensive line is blocking a smidge better, right now that they've got this new combination that they've been playing for the last.
They played for like 5 games, I believe, 4 or 5 games.
I was going to say 3. I wasn't sure. I want to say 5, but yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. So there's some continuity with the blockers too now. It's building.
It's building. It's getting there. And, there's some key players that might not be here next year or definitely won't be here, the following year because of free agents. They're free agents and everything. But I really think you get, which we know we're probably getting a new offensive coordinator because I don't think the Turners are staying. I just don't think that's happening. So you're going to get a new offensive coordinator, and there's going to be some new pieces on that offensive line. We know that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And going
left tackle needs to be addressed.
Yeah. And that combination there, I just feel as long as we don't get somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, again, be enemy, whoever the fuck it is, with the blocking scheme and knowing what you got at running back and being able to put together a blocking scheme that works for them, I really think, Zamir White and Sincere McCormick are going to be your 1-2 punch next season.
And what I was saying earlier was for some of us, because I was just born right after the 3 Super Bowl victories from 76, 80, and 83. I was born in 85, so I missed that era of Raider football. So my era, my golden era of Raider football was 2000, 2001, and 2002. 3 years in the playoffs. Consecutive playoffs, AFC West titles 3 consecutive years. Even starting from 1999 when they beat the Chiefs in Kansas City in the last game of the season to knock them out of the to knock them out of playoff contention at that last game. Then that started the Raider, for those 3 years. What could have happened if Al Davis didn't trade away John Gruden? What could have happened if there was no tuck rule game? What could have happened if we weren't facing a John Gruden-led offense with a historic defense in the Super Bowl? What could have happened, off of there? I know that was part of the closing of that window with so many older veterans on that 2002 team for the Raiders. But that running game, that offense, even though like in 2002 had that passing game that basically set up the offense, set up the running game, but that offense was built on Tyron Wheatley, and for the 2 years of that, the end of the 2 years of that run, Charlie Garner, Napoleon Kaufman, but Charlie Garner. And if you can have, that's what I want that, I want that back. I want a Charlie Garner and I want a Tyron Wheatley, and give me a John Ritchie. I want those tough running backs back there who's not gonna just, oh, I got hit, I'm gonna fall. Oh, I got hit, oh, I'm gonna fall. Hungry running backs that are in there that are just ground and pound, and because we always had a high ranked a running game during that time. Even in 2002, we were passing more, but we still had a high ranked a running game, and that's what we thought we were gonna have. Offensive line issues, Lugetti issues, or whatever the case it was, because the combination of both, because the running game helps with the quarterback play, because you don't have so many guys in the box. Oh, they're going to try to run the ball. They're not even going to, they're not going to throw it. Let's just come up. 11 guys in the box,
But that opens up, when you do that kind of shit, that opens up the pass game. Yeah.
Well, with a bad offensive line, it doesn't open up nothing.
No, but that's what I'm saying. With what we got now, they know we're not going to run it. So they hang everybody back and close off basically from the middle of the field back. And that's part of the reason why it's such a big deal about Brock Bowers doing what he's been able to do this season, is he's doing it all over. He hasn't quite been as successful in the run game when we've tried to use him, but you still try to throw it in there. But the middle of the field and the second and third level of the field, Brock Bowers has been able to do his job. And
both tight ends.
Oh yeah, now that Mayer came back.
Yeah.
Now that Mayer, even the other two guys we had moments to shine and everything. But that's what's impressive is, they know we're not running the ball, so they're able to, even with this, we got Bowers doing this, and to me, that is, reason why he deserves, hands down, offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah. For everything for everything this offense is not doing, Brock Bowers is the one person that's doing. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, the one person who's doing him and Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, Jacoby Myers.
But Jacoby Myers not in what we were talking about there. But no, those two are the bright spots on the offense right now of going. I know Peggy says we don't have a number one receiver, which I think we do, and it's Jacoby Myers. I think you extend his contract out, keep him going, fix this offensive line, and again, I said it once. I've said it a million times. I'll say it 1,000,003 times. I don't care. Fucking fix the offensive line. Focus on the offensive line. Keep O'Connell for one more year and see what the hell we got with O'Connell. And if it don't work out, I don't care if we win 7 games. If it don't work out, then I'll even go as far as this and say that you can sell the farm to go get Arch Manning.
If you can ask,
Jeff, you're wrong on that one because you know what? He was playing as a number 1 even when we had Devontae Adams.
Wasn't he number 1 with New England before we got him? I think he was the number 1 receiver with New England before we got him.
He might have been at that time. But, you know, when we got him and we had Devontae Adams for that year and whatever long it was, he outplayed Devontae Adams. So I don't say it's by default. I think you're wrong on that one, Jeff.
But I was right on what I said. Thank you. I was right because Jeff knows. He has to deal with all that Patriot news out there.
He would know.
He would know. I mean, and you look at these numbers.
Bullshit.
Yeah, unfortunately, I know all the Niners stuff because where I live. Unfortunately.
You know what? Neither am I, except for that one time I thought I was wrong, but then I was actually right. So therefore,
by default, you were right, just like he said. By default, no. If you look at the offensive numbers, you know, McCormick, he shined, 15 carries, 78 yards, hasn't cracked the 100-yard mark, but just like with Bowers took a couple games, he was right there, 98, 99, and then once he got it, you know, he started taking off from there. And then you know what's also, like you said, with this offensive line that we finally, I guess, makeshift put together. They have continuity, or they're building continuity. McCormick is succeeding with this offense and offense line. Yes, it's not under Getsy making the play calls. It's the Turners up top making the play calls and the adjustments up there. But, you know, yeah, she knows because she has to live with it, literally. Shouts out to Mark.
Hey, I have to deal with that Niners shit too. I grew up in a family full of Niners fans.
Well, you converted your dad for the most part, so when you convert somebody...
No, I mean, he was a Raider season ticket holder, but he's still unfortunately rooting for that other fucking fucked up team.
Yeah, well, they're not going to make it to the playoffs, so we can all sit up together and watch Super Bowl at home, Niners and Raiders, because ain't none of us going this year.
None of us going.
Ain't none of us going. But McCormick, you know, he's showing out with this offense. Of course, he is auditioning.
Well, fuck.
Yeah.
68 yards. Jesus.
Mayer came alive. This is what his fourth game back. Fourth game back.
Second or third. No, it's not fourth. It's second or third.
It's not second. I want to say at least third.
Then it's got to be third because it's not 4.
He came during the bye week, right? He came back during the bye week, right?
No. Well, yes, I think you're right.
So he has 4 games in. Because it's 4 games the Turners had.
He came back during the bye week.
Yeah, so he has 4 games. This was his 4th game. Because we've had 4 games since the bye week. The season's going by fast. I don't know how, with all the losing we're doing, but the season's going by fast.
We're just trying to forget everything.
I know. We're just like Men in Black. Okay, just give me the neuralizer. But Mayer showed out in this game, like Peggy said. Peggy didn't say it on today, but on Captain Jack's a show last night when she comes on at the same week as she comes on with us on Captain Jack's show the night before. She was talking about how this game plan was more centered around Michael Mayer, and you know, I mean. He did good. 7 receptions at 68 yards. Like you said, 9.7 average. And you saw him flipping around. And I know a lot of people are keeping an eye on him because he was out. And, you know, it was said, you know, he was taking a mental break and everything that was going on with his personal life. I didn't get a mental break.
Well, the only thing I've heard is it was personal reasons
Well, I'm not trying to say he was mental. I'm not trying to say
No,
he's
no, no,
the
no,
next Barrett Robbins, but you know, stay
we know
more.
Barrett
You know,
Robbins' problem. We know
oh
what
yeah,
his
yeah,
problem was.
yeah, yeah.
And you know, unfortunately, I know it was joked about earlier, and I really don't think it's fair, you know, to him on that, because at that time, you know, nobody understood bipolar with going. But I'm with you though. I'm assuming it was a mental health reason why he was out,
Yeah.
and it's good to see that he got past it, and the time off didn't hurt him that much.
Oh wait, that's the defensive highlights. Look at the defense is doing good. I thought this was the Michael Mayer.
It didn't.
Yeah.
But it was good to see. Talking about the defense, though, it was good to see turnovers finally. Us getting turnovers. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
we got 3 in the game. It was we've gone how many games without getting a turnover?
Well, they said during this game that we went through the whole season without having a fumble recovery, like a turnover fumble recovery. We just give the ball away. We don't get it off the ground.
Yeah,
We got our interceptions, a couple here and there, but you know that's the whole jinx of the broadcasters. Well, the Raiders haven't had a fumble recovery on defense in this whole season, and then like the next series, oh look, there you go, we got a fumble recovery right there when they sacked Mayweather. I almost said Mayweather. Baker Mayfield, when they sacked Baker Mayfield on that one blitz from Bernie.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Bird,
blitz.
yeah, I didn't even
Yeah.
realize he fumbled it at that time. To be honest with you, I had to see that replay and see that, you know, get batted out of his hand like that. I was like, holy shit.
Well, no, I don't know if it shows on the I don't know if it shows on this highlight, but no, he hit him so hard. I believe the same play. He hit him so hard that Baker Mayfield kind of, and the ball fell. When you hit a man so hard, where he's like he has the ball, and he just kind of, yeah. So that's what happened. He just hit him so hard that Baker Mayfield just kind of, and the ball came out. So, the defense after that 14-point spot, that because they got that second score. So when Jason got that, and when he tipped the ball to himself for that interception, we ended up fumbling on our very next play on offense.
Next play.
The center exchange, Yeah, they had no, they didn't score on that one. I think we got the ball back at the end of their series. I think they were already up by 14, and we thought they were gonna basically run with it like the Panther game, or like the what was the other game we got killed by? You just want to forget these games right now. But we thought it was gonna be winning like the Bengal game, it was gonna be one of those games. We're like, all right, we're gonna be here for a long time, so let's just see, the guys who were showing up. Let's just do a little scattering. I don't know. That's what's been our season, and that's what makes it hard to write these shows, because it's like, what can you talk about without sounding redundant, without sounding too positive, without sounding too negative?
Without
It's one of those.
Like else.
Yeah, making excuses or just bitching and moaning. I don't know, we suck because AP is garbage. Not a lot of. I'm not yet. I'm like you with Getsy though, but I hope the results don't end up that way. I'm not ready to jump on the fire AP train, because I kept. Yeah, because I kept saying even before the season started, yeah, we have our expectations to what happened last year and how they looked, how the Raiders looked last year at the end of the year, and we were like right there, making a playoff push. They ended up losing to a Minshew that we ended up signing, and whatever. But we all had our expectations of what we wanted. But I remember I kept asking, right before the season, yeah, we know what we want, but for reals, what's the expectations with someone who, spent time as a player in the NFL, has won a Super Bowl in the NFL, has had success in the NFL as a player, but he only had a year and a half of NFL experience, NFL coaching experience when he became the interim. So now he only has a year and a half of coaching, and then, a year and a half of coaching ish, and then the 9 games of head coaching as an interim. Like, what was your expectations going into the season? Like, realistically, if he was to fall on his face, is it, he was inexperienced? You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, and we've been saying it this whole time. I know I've been saying it. I know you've said it. Just like we talk about these rookie players. We talk about I'm on here. You know I'm on that train too, Jeff. You know what train I'm on. Anyways, God damn it, that fucked me up. Where was I going? Oh, AP's just like the rookies. There's going to be mistakes made. Whether it's time management, when to challenge, when to do this, even in the sense of going for it on fourth down, whatever it is, you're going to see mistakes. He's got to be able to learn from his mistakes. And the thing is, you got to give him the chance. You can't just turn around and say he's garbage and fire him, because we could go down the line, and there are not many great head coaches who have been successful their very first year as a head coach.
Yeah, Dan Campbell, who is 12-1.
Belichick, I bet you money. You go back to find out his record, it wasn't all that fucking great. You could go down Walsh, Belichick, fucking, goddamn Tomlin, fucking Cowher. You go down these lists of everybody, and they're not going to. You have those exceptions, yes, but a majority, they all got to learn. Just like a rookie, he's got to get some playing time, get out there and learn. JPJ out there at center, he played center, his whole time in college. It's different in the NFL, and you see the mistakes that have been made. When you were talking about that one sack on O'Connell where he did not come off the block because he had nobody to block. He engaged too much and allowed somebody to come up the center untouched. But he's got to learn this shit. He can't learn it without making these mistakes first, and then having the right coach there, being able to help him. And the same thing with head coaching. AP, he deserves another year. I know if you go off the record, you can't say he's garbage and all this bullshit right now, because we were able to say it with McDaniels because of his whole Denver stint. You saw what he did in Denver. Then he came over here and started doing the same shit. So you were able to call for his head earlier on, because it was just you were seeing a repeat of what you saw in the 2 years, 3 years, however long he was with fucking Denver.
For like 2 years and 4 games, I believe it was.
Okay, but you saw it. So, he's already had his chance. He learned his lumps. Shit like that. These second chance head coaches, they get shorter leashes. But give the man a chance. Not to mention, and we'll bring Sean Payton and the Broncos into this again. Sean Payton last year, when it wasn't his team, didn't do all that well.
Yeah.
Right? And then now look, he's turned the team around. He's got them playing well. It's now more his team than it was last year. You got to give AP that same shit. Right now, half this team is still McDaniel's team. So let's get the players in here that he wants. Let him learn. He made a mistake on hiring the OC. Him and Telesco and Mark Davis, whoever was involved with hiring Getsy. And trust me, through majority of the season, I kept saying give Getsy a chance. Don't, continuity, all this shit. Then I finally said, fuck it, I'm on the train. Let's fire Luke Getsy, and they fired Luke Getsy. But again, Luke Getsy had his chances, and it was just the same old bullshit. So, that time was coming. So, in my opinion, let's keep the continuity, because it's going to help bring players, and it's going to help you bring coaches if AP is not the right guy. Yeah. Because it shows that you're at least going to give them a chance.
Yeah, thinking right now, I'm everyone's all like, well, what happened? What's the difference between last year and this year? He has a job now. What happened? And I'm just thinking, and last year, after McDaniels was gone, there were no previous head coaches on this coaching staff that was, on last year's staff that was there. So AP was, and he still had Coughlin in his ear. when Coughlin would call, whatever, he always called Coughlin for advice and all that. But he was on the sideline just coaching football. What if it's the case of, okay, yeah, you got all these guys with you, Marvin Lewis, you got now you got Turner up in the North Turner up in the booth, the last couple of games, but that's whatever. Yeah, so you got all these former head coaches, and what if you're just you're thinking too much because you're getting too much information all at once. I know, you want to have guys out there that can kind of coach you along, but just like you said with like JPJ, rookie player, he's gonna make mistakes, but it's a difference between a rookie draft, a top rookie draft pick. He was number 2 in the draft last year. I'm sorry, second round last year, JPJ, to a head coach who's supposed to be running the whole organization on the field, on the ground, expectations and whatnot, whatever. But what if it's just a case of that I'm trying not to look bad in front of the people I hired, or not necessarily, but
I know what you're trying to say. I know what you're trying to say.
Or the phrase of too many chefs in the kitchen. This is your kitchen, but you wanted to bring veterans in, but this guy does it his way, and this guy does it that way. What's the right way? What's the right way with this way? And maybe it's just there's too many people. And then from a previous era, Marvin Lewis was at his, when the Bengals, when he had the Bengals, that was 10 years ago, and Philbin, that was he had the Dolphins as a head coach, but they didn't really have too much success as a head coach when he was head coach. So you got people, yeah, but what if that's the case of I'm trying to play perfect.
I'm trying too hard not to fuck up, and in the process, you're fucking up.
Yes. What if that's the case?
That could be a good point right there. That's definitely a view that I don't think anybody else has ever brought up. What happens if, like you said, there's too much information coming in, trying to process too much information, trying to, make, and the timing that this information is coming in is, going, and he's trying to decipher it all at once and then make a decision to go and, step it on his own feet.
Well, it's like the the old comedic bit when you have the guy trying to think, what should I do? You have the devil, and you have the angel come up. Well, you should go and throw the flag. Nah, you shouldn't want to throw a flag because then you're gonna waste time out. Yeah, but that looked clearly like that could have been something that you could overturn. Yeah, you can overturn it, then everyone's gonna get mad at you because you threw a flag and something like that. Yeah, but if you don't throw the flag and couldn't see, then they're gonna look at you like, why you throw the flag? Oh, how come you don't go on first down? How come you don't go on fourth down? Well, if you go on fourth down, and I feel like it's like, well, what should I do? What should I do? I got this guy saying this guy. This guy saying, yeah, this. You should go for a fourth down. Yeah, but we're behind the line. We're on our territory. Yeah, but you gotta be aggressive because that's what you say all off season. You can be aggressive. Yeah, but you gotta be smart too. Yeah, but the analytics says, yeah, but go with your gut feeling. And it's like,
yeah.
What if because what if having Minshew be the starter over O'Connell? Because I saw it, because I heard it in the press conference when he said Minshew's going to be the starter at the beginning of the season. We named Minshew to be a starter. Me, Telesco, and Getty got together. The three of us said it should be Minshew because he's the veteran, and we're going to go evaluate after the first 4 games and see how it goes.
Yeah.
But then when he decided to go with O'Connell, yeah, it's my decision. I decided to go with O'Connell. Because it's like, I can't do this. You guys, this is my job, okay? This is my job that's on the line. I got all you guys to help me out. And veteran offensive coordinator-ish, 2 years with Chicago, not that much success. Okay, you want this kind of guy, a guy who can run around. How'd that work for you with Justin Fields? Not really that well, because both of you left Chicago before this season started. So whatever. But, I mean, that's why I said, AP, just coach like you coached last year. Okay? Coach like you coached last year. Do what you got to do, and don't overthink it. Football, yeah, you got to be football smart, but just go with your
You're good. Go with what was successful last year, and like I said, maybe you're right, which was just I was coaching. I don't know what my future is, so fuck it. I got nothing to lose. Now he's coaching like he's got something to lose, and in the process, he's going to end up losing the job.
Yeah, and and injuries. You can't.
Oh yeah, and you can't blame him for injuries.
Yeah, like you can't predict injuries. Who was to say? And I know folks were like, "See, I told you the Luke Getzey offense was going to work," but I mean, who was to say that it was going to be as bad as it did? At least they had a running game over there in Chicago. Don't know what happened here with us. Is it the line? Did I not? There was a lot of factors that they did not address going into this season. One of them was offensive line. That was a big issue coming into this season.
James that contract.
Yeah. 3 years, and then he gets hurt, and JPJ outshines him, and then now it's we're paying the guy on the bench, good amount of money.
Even with the mistakes, he's still outshining them.
Yeah, because at least he's aggressive.
Yeah. Well, and that's what it's coming down to. That's the thing is you're seeing the players, JPJ, Glaze, Bowers. They're aggressive players. That's what AP wants, aggressive players. Wilkins, until he got hurt, it was helping. Coots, if he didn't get hurt in the, before the first game in that first week, leading up to the first game, who's to say that defensive line isn't, dominant?
Yeah.
And allowing that secondary to be able to do, and some of these other injuries are happening. We can play the ifs game all we want, but again, it's injuries, and it's injuries to key positions. Offensive line. Again, maybe Getzey could have been the right fit. Maybe. If he had the right quarterback. Obviously, and who's to say? I know you brought this up. If I remember correctly, it was on one of the shows. Who's to say that Minshew, the only reason Minshew got the starting job in game one was because of Getzey?
Yeah.
We talked about it. 3 people in that room. One could have been for Minshew, and he would have been for O'Connell. So the tiebreaker was up to Getzey, and Getzey felt Minshew could run his offense better. Obviously, it was wrong. I still see, I know some people are not going to agree with me, but in the short period of time, I still think O'Connell's been outplaying Minshew.
Yeah. It's just unfortunate with injuries to himself this year.
But again, broken thumb after he gets the starting job. Out 4 weeks. Minshew, right before he comes back, breaks his fucking collarbone. Offensive line. Only reason we have any success right now in the continuity that you've talked about all show is because of injuries on the offensive line that forced them to put players into the positions they're in now. And now it's working.
Yeah.
Because it's more natural for them.
Yeah.
And in the process, we're seeing the running game pick up. We're seeing less sacks. That's one thing that nobody's been talking about. Since this group is started for the last 5 games, there's been a lot less sacks in the game.
Yeah. For someone who's a statue?
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. And,
now
hopefully
that was a bonehead interception. I'll say it. He threw it right to the defender. Don't know what he was thinking when he threw that ball. But again, how many of the greats have we seen make that same throw?
Yeah.
That same interception. It happens. Ain't no quarterback going to go a whole season without throwing an interception or, whatever. In those running backs are going to fumble the ball. Quarterbacks are going to throw interceptions. Wide receivers are going to fumble the ball.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. It's just, can you minimize those? And can you turn around and shake it off and not let that one play ruin your whole game?
Oh, like the 100-yard interception?
Yeah, like the 100. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
That deflated Minshew, and then it was just downhill from there.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, we've been team Team Ramrod since last year. Since last year's, I'm talking about when McDaniels his last year, since last year's preseason games, we're like, hey, this guy got an arm, and then him coming off of IR, going into Kansas City on a Friday night or Friday noon, Friday for me, Friday afternoon,
Friday noon.
Yeah, afternoon, whatever. Going in there and yeah, it's the same offense as Getz. He's just been called by different people, but he was able to do all that. And yeah, okay, he took a few steps back in this game starting, but these players haven't worked together, consistently, and with all the injuries.
I was just going to say that step backs that you're talking about. Why did he take those step back? Basically, defense giving up those 14 points early and quick, and then it made us, to have to play a certain way, which seems to be the only time O'Connell gets thrown into a game.
Yeah,
he's going to come in and play Captain Save-A-Ho.
He got the mustache, so
he got the stash to do it. So
yeah.
But it's going, and that could have been, what affected that in that Chiefs game. It wasn't that way, and he outplayed, whatever you want to say, Patrick Mahomes.
Of course,
Easy.
yeah.
And then again, that momentum you thought was going to carry over, and maybe the defense was tired because they stepped up in that game too. Maybe the defense was tired, whatever it was, and it was just a, bam, bam. But then the defense got their feet under them and got us the ball back and did what needed to be done. And, at that point, when it came to O'Connell, he just needs to – O'Connell and AP, I think, are kind of in the same boat. They need to just stop worrying about everything and go out there and coach and play ball. Because when they do that, we play well.
Well, speaking of, O'Connell and, playing, and he didn't get hurt in this game, but I think we got to go in and get the ref on this one. So we're going to do a quick little ref in the refs. Here's the intro. Here we go.
Hey, throw the goddamn flag! Okay, you look at him. That's 3 calls he's missed. Who is this guy? Never fought one on there like this ref. Always like this guy.
All right, here's the play right here. You got O'Connell going back to pass. He's running to his right, trying to get find a wide open, well, not wide open, but try to find an open Jacoby Myers right there. And then we saw him rolling around on the ground like, wait, what happened? How did it, because I know, like Peggy said earlier, he did tweak his ankle when it got rolled up a few plays back or the series before.
It was actually a little earlier. It was a couple of series before this.
Yeah, so we're like, what, did he react, whatever? But you got the referee right here who saw it. Saw everything right there.
And go ahead. I don't even see his flag. Most of them keep it in the front. Where's his flag at?
Yeah, and you see he took like 2 steps after the throw, then it gets thrown on the ground, which, it wasn't a vicious hit or whatever, but still. And then we keep, everyone keeps saying it.
It was clearly a late hit or roughing the passer.
Yeah. And that should have been a flag, 15.
Yeah.
It still knocks our quarterback out the game, though, but no acknowledgement. And the referee was right there. And if you see it again, you see it again.
I see the flag. I saw his flag.
Wait, wrong one. If you see it again, he's running to his right, which, O'Connell can't run, that's what they say.
Oh, yeah, he's a statue.
But, you're trying to slow your body down, and then you get a jolt to the back, so your lower extremities are now trying to catch you when it wasn't. It's your feet are basically coming down awkwardly. What's going to jolt to the knee?
If you look after he gets pushed, look at the way his knee gets jammed into the ground because he was expected to be able to take that certain stride or step, and then all of a sudden now you're trying to protect yourself from falling and shit, and you can see it here. Bam! You see everything just get the way he got jammed up, and he couldn't. slow that momentum down. It's almost like it was like that hyperextension.
Yeah.
You know, even though it
So,
was
you know,
bad, but the way it down in there. Sorry, go ahead.
no, I'm saying, and you know, to see him get air casted and carted off the field,
Oh, that air
thinking it's
cast.
something.
You thought it was
Yeah.
bad. I thought it was.
Well, they asked today. They asked O'Connell, you know, what did he think about that hit? And here's what he had to say.
Put you in too tough of a spot, but did you have thoughts on the hit?
It is what it is, man. I mean, I didn't realize it until later, and didn't see it till later, and it is what it is.
It is what
I
it
mean,
is.
what do you expect him to say? You know, I mean, he's right. It is what it is. But later, yeah, at the point of it happening, all he was worried about was his career, the rest of the season. He felt what he felt. He told the medical team, you know, what he was feeling at that time, which led to the air cast, obviously, you know, a precaution, which was obviously apparently overkill because it's only a bone bruise. But again, how did you get that bone bruise? Either his kneecap or his fucking two leg bones, you know, jammed up into each other and basically, you know, going. I mean, all he knows is he got pushed.
Yeah. So,
you know, and maybe it was the way he fell on that did it. I don't know.
Yeah, because he kind of came hard on that knee. If we rewind it a little bit, So he kind of came down hard on that knee. It was, they never say which side it was, but it was right there, the left one, right where there's like that little cartilage. And I've had that a long time ago, where I was a kid and I was trying to sit at the table, and the table leg, you know, it was like the coffee table, and the table leg had a point, and I was trying to slide into it, you know, like to get closer to the table, and that point got me right in that cartilage area, and my leg felt like I couldn't move my leg for like the next 3 days. And I remember that. I mean, I was a kid though, but you know,
hey, those
you
things
fall. Yeah, you fall right in that sweet spot. You're like, oh, you know,
it's like hitting your funny bone.
Yeah,
it ain't so funny.
Yeah, I don't know who's laughing, but I'm not. So, what do you think, Asylum?
Well, I mean, we're only talking about this play, but there was a bunch of other plays throughout the game. It's almost starting to get blatant again, just like what we talked about with the Chiefs and not calls that they don't get, you know, in games and shit going. But it seems like every time it's playing against the Raiders, it's getting more and more blatant. I mean, I'm going to have to assume the reason that flag didn't get thrown was because his arm was broken and he couldn't reach his flag to fucking throw it. You know, he must have got hit somewhere else. But, you know, with, you know, the holding, everything else, we're just going to fucking end this shit right here. And this is might as well how the refs play or show up to the games and shit. You know, that meme with them with the damn stick and the guide dogs and shit for being blind. Well, they're blind because they got no eyes.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they see what they want to see and only call what they want to call. And you know, it's just getting old. It's really getting old, especially against the Raiders. You know, we brought up the tuck rule. I mean, we talk about, you know, the Chiefs game, you know, with the, you know, the game ending penalty that, you know, all of a sudden nobody knew about, you know, if you spike the ball, a illegal shift, all of a sudden continues to play instead of being a dead, you know, a dead ball foul. We didn't know about that. Why is it always against the Raiders? We learned about these new abstract part of the fucking rule.
So, that's in the back of the rule book where you gotta hold on. We gotta. Oh, it says right here. Yeah, Raiders lose.
Rule book. They got passed down to all the other commissioners saying, whenever you can, you fuck the Raiders.
Well, let me look at my rule book. Raider rule number 1: cheated is encouraged. Raider rule number 2: see rule number 1. Okay, now according to the league rule number 1: cheating against the Raiders encouraged. League rule number 2: see rule number 1. Signed by Pete Rozelle. Okay, so it's in the book. Because the Raiders, we had to write that in the book because it happens all the time on key little moments. That
Key
yeah,
things.
you know,
You brought it up too, right? That Rich Gannon hit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That was another one that should have been called that didn't get called.
Well, what about the forgotten ones? What about the Raiders were playing against the Seattle Seahawks, and I believe this is when the Seahawks were still in the AFC West. That's old school. In the AFC West, Ricky Waters was running down the field. It was raining that day, and it was in Seattle, and Ricky Waters was running down the field, and he had basically, you know, taken it to the house. And here comes Charles Woodson to the right side. That Charles Woodson, you know, judo chop. Ball bounces out. It was Marquez Pope and Anthony Dorsett. Marquez Pope, I believe, jumped on it, or vice versa. It was the two safeties, but it was them two. No, I think it was a Dorsett jumped on it on the two, and then Marquez Pope, you know, jumped on him to stay down because the ball, they both slid into the end zone, which should have been a touchback for the Raiders. But they said, well, because his momentum carried him into the end zone, we're gonna go safety on the Raiders. 2 points to the Seattle Seahawks. They get the ball back. That was towards the end of the game. They ended up winning that game. And I'm like, how does that even happen? He was down on the 2, and because the rain and that was fake grass. That wasn't real grass. It glided him into the end zone. He never got up to try to run. He stayed down from the 2 when he got the ball, slid those 2 yards into the end zone, and oh no, to safety. And we're like, shouldn't that be a touchback, if anything? Either on the 2 or a touchback. How is it a safety? He didn't run in there. He didn't run into the end zone. His momentum carried him. But no, safety. Seattle wins. Remember that play? Phantom whistle. Yeah. Phantom whistle against the Bengals.
Against the Bengals in a playoff game.
Yeah. So these are just, it's just getting old. And
it just adds up. I mean, if we wanted to and try to remember, and I'm sure even the chat could help, you know, you keep going down, and it's like every year, it's not every game, but every year there's plays like that goes against us every damn time. I'm surprised that run back by God damn it, now I can't remember his name, Harris. You know, when they threw the ball, they tried to down it and threw the ball to the 1, and he picked it up and ran it all the way back for a touchdown. That punt.
Oh yeah. That was a kick return.
Oh, kick return, that's right. But, you know, I was surprised they didn't fuck us on that one. Oh, no, it was down at 1 because he touched it.
Do you remember this? You remember this?
Against the fucking Cowboys? No, hold on. It was folded.
Yeah.
It was folded to make it thicker, and it still fucking moved. And the next part moved. And, we only used that to confirm the decision that we already had.
And then later, like, you know, the referees are not supposed to use foreign objects to help measure on the sticks. But then whatever, he was retired anyways. He retired, I think, after that anyways. Now he's doing CBS. Well, I believe that's the wrong call, you know, because shut up, Skeletor. So whatever. So and add another thing to what the refs call or don't call. But it always go against the Raiders. Not making excuses, but this is just how it's always been as a Raider. They say there's 31 other teams. There's 31 football teams. No, there's 31 teams in the NFL, and then there's the Raiders.
Well, now
and I believe that's also.
No, there's 32 now, and then there's the Raiders.
No, 32. There's not 33. Oh yeah, I'm like this. Yeah, you're right. You're right. There's a silver and black versus the white and black. There you go.
Yeah.
That's not kind of bad. There's a silver and black versus the zebra and zebra. So they're stripes, you know. The oh yeah, you know. It is what it is. This is what we got to deal with, and it's a losing season. And it's just adding more salt to the wound of us being Raider fans. Like, are you serious? No flag on that. Can we just catch a break? Can we just catch a break? Yeah, another injury break. No, that's not what I meant. So
yeah, wrong kind of break.
Yeah, that's not what I meant. Okay, just don't make Kit Kat at least. Okay, give me that much. Well, all right, Asylum. You ripped off the referee's arms. again in this at the end of this
hold
show.
on. I don't think it was working. That's why I didn't throw the flag. And I just ended the misery, quicker because you know what? I mean, it's just getting old.
It's just getting old.
I mean, they're walking around like they can't see shit. Max Crosby gets held fucking every damn play, and he may get 1 or 2 if you're lucky. But why are we going to call? Everyone holds. False starts could happen, but they don't get called. But if we fucking get a false start, then it's a fucking fumble recovery for the other team, and whatever. So,
welcome to being a Raider fan. If this is your first time being a Raider fan and you are not satisfied, please call your lawyer. Or I don't know how it goes. Well, you might be entitled to some compensation. Yeah, right.
Call 666-6666.
Yeah, any area code that starts with 666, you might not want to call. All right, Asylum, that is the end of our show. We want to thank Miss Peggy for coming on, and Christmas Day. I mean, it could happen. I believe we can pull it off.
I'll reiterate with her to make sure, since we know it's Christmas Day now. But yeah, I'm down to do it.
Yes. So, Christmas time, Little Raider Nation, Christmas time for those who got nothing to do and are drunk off of eggnog that was mentioned earlier today. Yeah, maybe we can have a good show on that one. Everyone will love it. And all that. So festive one. All right. Well, this Friday, like I said earlier, I will not be on because I will be on vacation, celebrating my stepson's birthday. So, Asylum will still be here, carrying, continuing his streak, Jim Otto streak going on, and he will.
I gotta beat it before I can fucking bow out for a game or two. I gotta beat it. Even if I'm hurt, put me in, coach.
And he will be joined by Jeff.
He did it he kind of said it in the chat. So
yeah, he said.
Yeah, we'll have New England Raiders Booster Club Jeff on with me on Friday, filling in for Savage for that show.
Yes. Until then, watch the show, I guess, whatever. I don't know. Until then, until Friday, they'll see you then. I will watch the show from afar. But yes, and we want to thank everybody who's in the chats, everybody who was watching. And I want to go back to this last comment. Where is it at? Oh, I went too far. Oh, by the way, shout out to Space Beast. Space Beast! Seen it in a while, man. But like you on the show. It was... They're right here. Can't replace Savage. You can only fill in. But we like Jack,
I said it first.
Yes. I know, but see, when it comes from...
It's not in writing, I know. It's not in writing, so it don't count. I get it.
When it comes from the audience who can, who watch our show, it's more special because it is what it is.
Yeah, so you'll be missed. The day I miss the show, everyone will be like, oh, it's a great show. Yeah, keep them off.
No, I don't think so. I don't know when we'll test that theory out, but no, I don't think so. All right, then, Asylum. Well, you'll be taking over on Friday, and I'll be watching from afar. But have a good show on Friday and with Jeff, and have a good show. Until then, for everybody else, have a good night. Thank you for watching our show. I know it's hard because what else can we say about a season like this? Well, that's why we just try to make it funny, I guess, whatever.
You just try to have fun.
Yeah, let's try to have fun. What else can you do? We're not coaching, so what else can you do? All right, Asylum. Okay, we end every show like we always do with the word from Coach Wallace, aka Raider Milt. Rest in peace, Raider Milt. I wish he was still around. I would have him on the show. Probably censorships. Censorships would be off. Yeah, they're like, we gotta shut this down. All right.
Swearing all the time. Fuck that bullshit.
Swearing all the time. If this was censored, man, yeah, it'll be it wouldn't work. It would have worked.
No, probably wouldn't. But it,
All right.
it's still a hell of a show.
Oh, yes, it will. Yes, it will, for sure. On the uncensored version. We will send out DVDs of that. It's only $10.99. No.
No, $19.99.
$19.99, like the old Jerry Springer, too hot for television, too hot for YouTube. We have midget strippers and everything. All right, Asylum, take care. Have a good show on Friday. Everybody else, take care. Have a good night. Thank you for watching. And we'll see you next time. Raider Nation for life. Yeah. Out.
All you other NFL teams, your tailgates are weak. Your teams are weak. We might be down right now, but it doesn't take away the history. And all you Raiders out there need to know your fucking history of who the fuck you playing for and where the fuck you're playing. Damn it. Oh, and by the way, I won my last cage fight again. I'm still undefeated. And you NFL motherfuckers out there that you think you want some, come on and get some anytime.